Welcome to another game on the Ottomans and Malians public update preview. Spawning in the left-hand side of the map, we've got 3DB, who's going to be playing the Ottomans for us today. His opponent is going to be Jax, spawning on the right-hand side of the map, and he's going to be playing the Malians today. Both civilizations have been in the game for about 24 hours at this point of recording. So we're going to see how these build orders have developed. We can see here, B's going to be opening up with a house and a mining camp. Pretty standard. This is what we saw right at the beginning. There's two sort of build orders that we've been seeing at the moment. There's one where we open with a school, a military school, and one where we just open up with a house and a mining camp. A bit like every other civilization. But it's the Malians, they're the ones that have the crazy build orders, the ones that are still being developed as we speak. We see one villager is on the mining, or is on the lumber right now. Lumber camp is set up as well. We also have a mining camp and a house over here for Jax. Is he going to be going for that early pit mine? Because this is what we keep seeing a lot. We see that early pit mine, and it works really, really well. So I wonder if there's going to be any more villagers on this wood for that pit mine, because it pays back so quickly. Like, the amount of gold income you get from that, especially when you start to get some real houses around it. So the more houses you have around that pit mine, the more gold you get a minute. You can have up to 90 gold a minute with the maximum amount of houses, which is... it fills up around there. So you can have a lot of gold income, and it pays back quickly. 150 wood for a pit mine isn't really a lot. Like, if you built this at the beginning of the game, you would already have quite a bit of gold. So we'll have to see if that's what Jax decides to go for this game. But it seems like he's going to be taking a little bit slower on the wood approach. He's just going to be mining that gold. So it looks like he's going to be going for a bit of a fast age up. We see B over here already aging up. He's going to be going up with the twin madress, which is the berry bush landmark. 4 berry bushes spawn on here. They gather 50% faster, which is definitely nice for a bit of a turtle approach. But to be honest, on this map, you could have gone for the other landmark. So the other landmark, it's a gold trickle landmark, and you get two traders with it, and you can garrison them inside of that landmark, and it generates a slow trickle of gold. However, you can also ungarrison them, and then you can use them as a market. And I mean, the market's in a pretty defendable position here. I mean, look at this Libany spawn. I mean, you could wall off here and here. And then if you just defend this forward position, wall off here. And then, like, this is basically all walled off. You just need, like, a little wall over here somewhere. And you could get some real good trade eco going. But I guess that is quite an investment, especially when you're up against the Malians, because what we've seen so far is that these guys love to put on the H2 pressure, especially as they've got the Donzo and the Javelin Thrower. The Javelin Thrower works super, super well in H2, as it is anti-archer, and there's not a lot that you can do against it, especially when you're playing as the Ottomans, when they've only got this Spahi to deal against that type of unit. Anyway, Jax over here is going to be aging up. He's going to be aging up with the Mansa Quarry. I don't think I've seen the other age up yet. This seems to be the only age up that we've been seeing. So this one generates 75 gold a minute and can be toggled to stone, which is super cool. And I can tell why it's so good. I mean, having a trickle of either stone or gold can be huge, especially if you're wanting to go for a second town center or even the third town center. Just when this landmark gets up, switch to stone, and then you can just gather up some wood, and then you can have fun placing your town centers. And it's quite good for scouting as well. If your opponent scouts out that you're on stone, they know that you're probably going to be making a second town center somewhere, unless it's for like emplacements or something along those lines. But generally, if you're mining stone in H2, it's going to be for a second town center. However, with this, it means if your opponent scouts out your stone mine, they won't know if you're going for a second town center or not because of this landmark, which I think's really, really nice to see. For B, he's going to be going up with a stable, looking to go into some early spa here, it seems. Definitely a good unit to be making up against the Malians. I think Spahi do really well, especially up against this sort of style where you got the pit mine, because these guys have pretty good siege. They've got pretty good siege, and they can pick off villagers that are doing this, because now that Jax has reached stage 2, he can drop down a second pit mine. You can only build one pit mine per age, and we see here, this village is probably going to be moving out to here to build that second one. And luckily for 3DB, he's already got that Spahi on the way, so he should be able to deny that out. But wait, where is this villager off to? Is it looking to do some walling, maybe? I wouldn't be surprised if it was to do some walling, or if it's coming all the way over here to place down a pit mine. I mean, you know, going for a pit mine all the way over here would make sense. Keep it out of the way, and especially as it can be easily defended with a couple walls over here. But Spahi is going to be chasing down the scout of Jax. Jax has actually grabbed the upgrade for his scouts. These are warrior scouts. That's unique to the Malians. They can upgrade their scouts. So these are warrior scouts. They do cost us slightly more though. You see 90 food. And we also have a sofa out as well. A knight class unit. It tanks like a knight, attacks like a horseman. Very, very nice unit right there. Especially up against these kind of Spahi type units. Although we do have 3 Spahi out now for B. He should be able to take this fight, especially now he's used the Fortitude ability. The Fortitude ability means he does more damage, but also takes more damage. So when he's got the massive numbers like this, it's definitely worth using the ability. And he's going to be pushing away Jax. Does Jax have any more units in queue? Yes, he does. Another sofa comes out. These sofas should be able to deal with these pretty effectively. Spahi are pretty cheap compared to these guys. We can see here the sofas cost 120 food, 60 gold. We can see over here Jax is expanding out that gold pit. He's going to be building it over here. And he's starting to build houses around them as well. We'll have to see if B spots that one out. Because it can be quite punishing. Because these are all isolated. If B has any sort of a mass, it can be a small spearman mass. And he can just burn down everything here. Which can be really detrimental to Jax's economy. We see here B's really building up this mass of Spahi. And we can see the first Vizier shipment has been sent in for B. I'll explain a little bit what that is. 2 imams it is going to be for B. So he's managed to get his first Vizier and he's sent in the field work. So this spawns 2 imams at the town center. And for those still wondering how you get those, you basically, by training units and upgrades and stuff, you get points over time. And when this bar gets to the end, you get to unlock one of these. And they unlock row by row. So if you've unlocked one in the first row, you can unlock something from the second row. If you unlock something from the second row, you can unlock something from the third. And we can see B has decided to just go for the 2 imams, which work really, really well in this position, especially up against these sofas. He can just target his units for which one he wants to heal. So we see these guys are going to be damaging this one. The 2 imams are going to be healing it up. So there's not a lot Jax can do without immediately killing one of these guys. Because these 2 imams aren't just regular imams. We can read here. Imams heal nearby units with 1 health every second. Which is pretty huge. So any unit around these 2 imams get healed up automatically. And we also see Jax is going to be going for a early cattle. Okay, so this is actually quite an expensive investment at the 8-minute mark. 3 cattle is 300 gold. We're going to focus on this engagement, though, because this is looking pretty good for B. He's still got his 2 imams alive. He needs to make sure he keeps these alive, otherwise they won't be able to heal each other up. The first one does go down. Oh, that's not what B wants. However, he has won this fight pretty decisively. Those sofas are an expensive investment to lose. Unfortunately, the 2 imams did go down, which is unfortunate. But I would still say that's a pretty effective trade for B. He's going to try to take out these 2 Donsos. So these Donsos are like, they're a spearman alternative for the Malians. Anyway, back to the cattle. So each one of these cattle provides 28 food a minute, but they cost 100 food. Which I would say is pretty decent, especially in the late game. Because this is each one of these is 3 it's like 3 villagers basically, because they don't take pop cap. And they can't get raided either, which is pretty huge. And now we had the Fortitude ability coming out. I don't know if this is good for B, because he's going to be taking a lot of damage there, which is I don't think he wants. Yeah, so he decides to pull back now. He's still got a decent mass here, but imagine if he had the imams. These units are so damaged right now, but unfortunately, you cannot train imams age 1, age 2, sorry. And there isn't another shipment for the field work. So B's almost got enough to send in his second Vizier. We'll have to see what he decides to send in then. But Jax's mass is looking pretty decent. I mean, he's really pumping out these Donzos plus Sofa. It's weird seeing it just called Sofa. I feel like it should be called Sofa Horseman. But yeah, quite a massive Donzos coming out now. Got some more Sofas in the queue as well. But we see B's just burning down quite a lot here. So we'll have to see how Jax reacts to that one. I mean, he only needs a couple Donzos over there. You see, he does queue up another one over there. But in the same regard, B's under pressure in his base as well. Not going to be quite as much pressure as the Spahi. The Spahi have quite a lot of siege. And I mean, look how many houses it took out there. 3 houses, because these are half houses. Don't forget that these are half houses. They cost half. They take half as long to build, and they provide half the population. We see Jax isn't taking a very effective trade here. This is looking pretty good for B. He's doing quite a lot of damage here. And I mean, not only is that 3 houses burnt down, but look at the economic dent it's left on this pit mine. Only 53 gold a minute compared to this one over here. Look at that. 120 gold a minute, because it is a large gold mine and you can fit many more houses around, but you can have a maximum of 90 gold a minute if you've got all of these houses up. So, I mean, yeah, it's not looking too pretty there, but it's all right. The houses are super cheap. Jack should be able to get them up and running very shortly. But Spahi definitely making use of their value here. And we've got the first military school coming down from B now. So he's going to be producing 3 spearmen. They take 50 seconds to train. And he's going to have them rallied all the way to the front here. I mean, definitely a good idea up against these Sofas. Although the Donzo, as they can throw their spears, I mean, they tend to do pretty well up against normal spearmen. So we'll have to see if B looks to change that up a little bit. But we do have archers coming out now. And this could be good. This could be good, as we do only have Donzos at the moment. However, if... yeah, here it is, the javelin thrower. As soon as Jack starts to get out some of these boys, B could be in some trouble, because javelin throwers are anti-archer archers, basically. So they do really well up against spearman archer compositions, and B might be in some trouble here. Those Sofas are looking pretty strong. He's not got much of a spearman of an archer mass either. These Donzos going to be throwing their spears. Look at the damage onto those archers. The Donzo spearmen just so powerful with their throwings of the spear. And the Donzo's going to be able to go into melee as well. We've also got a Maheta here. We got 2 of them. They're giving the melee defense upgrade. So we can see +2 melee defense for these Spahi. We haven't actually talked much about the Maheta. We haven't actually seen them a lot. I think it's something the players are definitely going to have to get used to, as it's not a common unit that we've seen before. I guess the closest thing would be the Mongol Khan. But even then, this is still a very different unit. Archers going to be taking their shots on the Donzo, but not many archers here. Sofas are going to be able to do pretty well here. And more Spahi are being produced. It'd be so nice to have those Imams here healing up these units. Really, really important to keep those. And they scale really well as well, because as soon as you hit age 3, you can pick up 2 relics immediately. So super, super nice upgrade to keep. And we can see here, he's almost got a second Vizier stacked up. And there it is. So, okay, so he spent it on meta drums. So he gets another meta. Let's see what else that does. Mehetas increase movement speed to units in the same formation by +15%. Okay, so that's pretty huge. So he's got 2 Mehetas here. So they're going to be helping to increase that movement speed. He's still got it on the melee defense drums, which is definitely a good idea up against this unit composition. I really like how these Mehetas work. I feel like it's a really cool addition to the game, because it means you have to be a little bit more tactical with what one you want, and you have to adjust to what your enemy is using, what their unit composition is like. And B's throwing away quite a few archers here, but it's not a lot he can do. The Donzos just do so much damage onto the Spahi. And I mean, in this situation, B might want to use the Fortitude ability. He needs to do as much damage as he possibly can here. Doesn't decide to use it now, though. It seems like he's winning this fight pretty decisively. He's got some spearmen in on the mix there as well, managing to take out the Sofas. Jack's still got quite a few Donzos in there doing quite a bit of damage. Hardened Spearmen for B are going to be going down. The Archer's mass is still alright. 7 Spearmen is going to be enough to push this back. And Spahi are going to be able to chase down these Javelin Throwers. We can just see the Javelin Throwers, however good they are up against Archers and Spearmen, they're not very good up against Cavalry. I mean, 70 HP is extremely low. I mean, it's the same as an Archer. But they are very expensive, so... I mean, they are very expensive. We have a look at the price. Look at that. Oh, that's the Musafadi Gunner. Hold on. There we go. 80 food, 20 gold. And I mean, for the same health as an Archer, let's have a look at the Archer price quickly. 30 food, 50 wood. So, I mean, Archers are definitely more effective when it comes to, you know, against horsemen. But Javelin Throwers are definitely good when you're up against mass Archer. So I feel like the Malians are going to be very decent up against civilizations like the Rus that love their H2 Archers and Knight composition. I feel like this is going to be very, very strong up against that. But that's just speculation. We'll have to see how that plays out. I'm sure we'll start to see some more matchups in the future with normal civilizations, because we tend to just be seeing Malians versus Ottomans at the moment. That's because it's new. Of course, we're going to see that as soon as the civilizations come out in the preview. But I'm sure we'll start to see some normal civilizations coming out soon up against these new civilizations, which would be really cool. And we do actually have a second town center here for Jax. I'm not exactly sure when he got this one up. I think he's had this here for quite a while, to be honest. But his eco's looking pretty decent. We'll have a look at the villager count. B's on 55 compared to the Jax's 58. So he's only a little bit ahead. He can't have had this town center for too long. However, he does have this gold pit, the pit mine. I want to keep calling it a gold pit. I'm not sure why, but it's a pit mine. 120 gold a minute and 90 gold a minute over here. We've got an engagement going on over here. B is pushing into the base of Jax right here. And I mean, B's got the mass. He just needs to make sure he kites with it. Spahi aren't going to be taking very good fights up against these Donzos. Not a lot of health here for the Spahi. Although we do have, look at that melee defense. Wow, that's a lot of melee defense. They might be taking pretty effective trades up against this. I mean, Jax doesn't have many upgrades. He especially doesn't have his melee upgrades in. And I mean, I think this is a pretty good fight for B. He's definitely got the mass advantage here. And I think Jax needs to try and focus down these metas, because these guys give so much melee defense. But still not looking too bad for Jax. B does manage to keep the metas alive, plus the archers. Donzos are going to be going down. The thing is, B's making quite a cheap army composition. I mean, let's have a look at how cheap. Well, I mean, he's making Spahi for free here. Has he even got a stable down? Yeah, he does here. He does. Yeah, so 110 food, 20 wood. I mean, that is cheap. Whereas Jax is making a little bit more of a resource-heavy composition. We can see here 80 food, 40 gold, and then the Donzos are 60 food, 30 wood, which is quite expensive. Especially when you're trading against that. B definitely took the better trade. However, Jax can afford to do so. He's got the better economy. He's got some cattle. I forgot to mention the cattle as well. The cattle giving lots of free food here. And then he's got all the free gold. He's got this landmark as well. He's also slightly ahead on villagers. So it's looking pretty good for him. B is out on all of these different food sources. But then again, so is Jax. He's already consumed all of his deer. Now we see B making a little bit of a push. He doesn't have much siege here. He might want to get in siege engineering soon and just maybe make a ram or two just to put on a little bit of pressure. Make Jax react, because to be honest, burning stuff down like this isn't going to do too much. We see ranged defense is on for the metas. Going to be really helping out against all of this ranged stuff, with the Donzos throwing their spears, the javelin throwers. The metas are... No, not the metas. One meta goes down. That is unfortunate, but it's alright. Metas do not stack. Bear that in mind. Bear that in mind. Shots going off onto Jax. B can just kite this out. He doesn't want to lose this meta. That meta is super important right now. I wouldn't be surprised if we've got another one in the queue. And now, big fire happening. The meta stays alive at the back. Archers firing down. Jax needs to be focusing down this meta, because once that goes down, these javelin throws are going to be doing so much more damage. We're on melee defense drums right now. I mean, I don't know if that's a good idea. I would be range defense with all of these javelin throws. The javelin throws, you can see how effective they are up against these archers. And this is looking pretty good for Jax. Jax is Sofa Knights here up against the archers plus javelin throwers. I mean, this is looking pretty decent. But he needs to get out some more Spy right now. And the Spy he has here are just going to be going down to these Donzos. This is looking really good for Jax. And he's just got constant unit production behind this as well. B now has to pull back into his base. He has to remass a little bit here. Blacksmith coming down for him. And 2 more archery ranges. Really looking to double down in age 2 here. We'll take a look back over at Jax's base. What upgrades does he have on his blacksmith? He's building a blacksmith right now. I'm sure he had one. I think it got burnt down. Yeah, it was here. This got burnt down. So we see Jax is going to be pushing into the base of B. B's behind by 13 villagers at this point in time. And he's quite a bit behind on the military. B definitely needs to take an effective trade here to have a bit of a comeback. That's for sure. We've got 3 military schools out as well. 1 producing spearmen and the other 2 producing Spahi. All of the upgrades are in for B. I'm not sure why he built a second blacksmith over there when he's already got all of his upgrades, but I'm sure there's a reason. And the thing is for Jax, he's got the better, you know, the better unit composition here as well. He's got those javelin throwers, and when B's making pretty much only archer, it's definitely not what you want to be making up against this composition. I mean, archer plus javelin thrower is pretty huge. And we got all these Donzos over here as well. I think B's best chance right now might be to go age 3. But his resource count is not there. If he was close to aging, I might have been able to, you know, justify going age 3, getting out of Mangonel. That would be a pretty effective way of shutting this down right now. But B's just too far away. If he decided to commit to it at this point, I feel like he would be throwing away quite a lot. We also have a second town center out for B as well. And now B going to be charging in. He can take this battle here. The Donzos are out of position. This might be pretty good for B. We also have Janissaries out. 6 Janissaries here. I think B sent in the card. He did. He sent a Janissary combat. It sends in 2 Janissaries for each military school that you have. So that's 6 Janissaries. And something that we found about Janissaries recently is that these are actually anti-cavalry. They've got a bonus damage versus cavalry. So they're not like your usual hand cannoneer unit. They do very well up against any sort of cavalry. However, they don't do so well up against this unit composition. Javelin throws especially do very well up against Janissaries because they're anti-ranged unit. Outpost here going to be helping out Jax as well. He's grabbing that arrow slits in placement as well. And Jax is looking pretty decent here. These javelin throwers are taking pretty good trades. But where are the Donzos? Jax needs to bring some more Donzos. I don't think he's got many. He's got a couple here. But he definitely needs some more to push back these Spahi. Luckily, the Spahi are pretty weak. I'm pretty sure the Archmass could defend that themselves. Tower has arrow slits now as well. Going to be really helping out here, defending this front line. Are we going to be seeing any rams coming out from Jax anytime soon? I wouldn't be surprised. Let's have a look at his blacksmith. He's got it in siege engineering, so we'll have to see. I'm sure he's got enough wood for it. He keeps spending that wood though. He's looking to just build a bit more of a mass before he decides to invest into a ram. But a ram right here would be so nice. You wipe out so much production. All of the production for B's on the front line, apart from these 2 military schools. But this could be bad for B. If he loses all of this production here, he'll be in a really sticky situation, especially as he's still behind in economy. The first ram is now going to be going down. B at this point is still massing up archers. And look at these Spy here. I mean, the Spy, I feel like they're not a bad unit, but up against this sort of a mass, I feel like they're pretty ineffective. We also got some Where are they? There they are. The Musofadi warriors. They can go into stealth mode. He can put them into stealth mode and try and get some nice raids on over, especially like over here. Speaking of raids, we actually got 2 Sofa horsemen going over there. And B's going to be trying to do some damage with these archers. But the javelin throwers are here and they're going to be doing so much damage. Jax doesn't really want to throw away these Donzos. Spahi could be doing quite a bit of damage. And look at the raiding with these Sofas. Being a real pain right here. Meta's still alive. What's it got at the moment? It's got ranged defense. I mean, yeah, definitely a good idea. Especially up against all of these javelin throwers. Does B have any upgrades yet? Yeah, so he's got all of his upgrades. We'll have a look. Yeah, so everyone's got all their upgrades, which is nice to see. We see B is going to be doing some raiding as well with these Spahi. Jax. I don't know if B wants to be raiding. I mean, I guess this is only way of coming back into this game, really. As he's a little bit behind at the moment, especially with this being pushed into his base. But he really needs to have a decisive win right here. You can see what is he doing with his archers? Is B throwing this game or something? What is he doing with his archers? He split his archer mass. Is he going for a bit of a surround? Does he realize that his nearest path, he would have to go all the way around into B's base to do that? I have no clue what he's doing. Maybe he's looking to get rid of those Donzos. But more raiding going on over here by the Sofas. And Jax can just continue to push in. 3rd ram now coming through for him. He's looking in a very decent position. And we see B. He's going for that A job. Why? This could be terrible. Sure, he's got a big massive Spahi right now. And he's got a decent mass of archers. But he's aging up now and he's floating a ton of food as well. I mean, I feel like that's very, very risky. I mean, look at all this production that he's losing for free right now. Not even putting much of a fight up for it. We'll have to see what he does about that. And B's going to continue to be annoying with those Spahi. There we go. B is going to be aging up. What's it going to be? Where's that age up? He's going to need to really rush up this landmark. There it is. It's going to be the... Oh, it got cancelled. Got cancelled. He's building up here. Okay. It's the Imperial Armory. Okay, so this produces the siege engines for free. So if you wait 2 minutes, 30 seconds, you can get a free mangonel out as soon as this is built. But can he survive 2 minutes, 30 seconds? That's the question, because this mass is super intimidating. How many... He's got 29 javelin throwers, 28 archers, only 9 hardened Donzos though. He needs some more Donzos. Jax needs more Donzos urgently, because look at this massive Spahi. That could be very, very dangerous. And look at these archers over here as well. B doing some great raiding right now. Sofa Horseman also being a pain in B's base. And there the age up is. Mangonel is immediately queued. Let's have a look. 2 minutes, 8 seconds. Wow. It doesn't take as long as I thought. Maybe he's got an upgrade for it. Because I'm sure it was longer. I'm sure. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But not long. And look at this. 5, 6 rams on that main town center. B's in some trouble right now. He needs a big push right now. Jax reaches the castle age as well. Both of them are going to be getting their veterancy upgrades in. But who's going to be able to hold on? Can Jax hold on to this push? He sends 3 rams onto the twin market here. All 3 landmarks are in a row here for Jax. This is going to be a close one. Town center is going to be going down soon. I'm surprised Jax just didn't double down on H2. If he just kept sending out units instead of aging up, I feel like that would have been huge. Although we do have the garrison out. It's going to be that age 3 landmark. You can produce units at a much cheaper cost for gold. And they train a lot quicker. Knights are coming out for B though. And that could spell the end for Jax. He doesn't have many Donzos. And the Rams are currently being destroyed by those Knights. And we just see more and more Knights are on the way. But B's losing his archer mass right now. We'll take a quick look at villager counts. They're on the same amount of villagers. Eco is looking very similar right now. The 2nd landmark for B has gone down. 3rd landmark remaining. How long have we got left on that mangonel? 45 seconds. Once that mangonel comes out, B needs to pull stuff. He needs to make sure that mangonel stays alive and he can get as many shots onto this mass as possible. Because this is still looking very, very good for Jax. Look at this army he's got right here. But these Knights are just doing so much damage. 5 Knights right there. We don't have any Donzos. 3 more Donzos making their appearance on the battlefield. Their veterancy upgrades now. However, Jax is losing a lot. This is the last landmark, though. B needs to be careful. Those 3 rams are doing a lot of damage. However, the knights are here. And now we got a bit of a villager pool. I think B has just managed to stabilize. But look at the damage onto the base here. I feel like Jax could have doubled down in age 2 here. And he would have easily been able to have destroyed this 3rd landmark. I don't know, but the mangonel is now out, and Jax's mass has been destroyed, and that last ram is going to be going down. Although Jax may have lost that fight, I mean, look at the damage that he's done to his base. That's 2 landmarks down and a half, like 1,800, 1,600. Sorry, I don't know where the 800 came from. But if I were Jax, I would have been pulling. I would have pulled all my villagers on that. That's the kind of crazy player I would be in this kind of situation. But anyway, we see here, B's just denying out these Donzos. Oh, if only Jax had some more Donzos, that could have been game. But we can see he's rebuilding this mass. He's got his veteran Sofa here and veteran Donzos. It looks like he's going to be trying to prepare for a round 2, but B's economy is still in an alright shape. However bad that push was for the infrastructure, B's economy is still booming behind this. And now the later stages of the game, when Ottoman start to become a little bit more powerful, is starting to approach, especially when you've got that mangonel and all of these knights as well. And we see B's going to start to push forwards now. That toll outpost is going to be going down. For those wondering why it's a toll outpost, it has a little bonus with traders where it gives like 10 plus 10% gold when it walks past it. It's a little bit of an odd bonus, but it works. And we can see there the Donzo's firing off onto those knights. Look how much damage it did. Crazy, crazy stuff. But now the Donzo mass really starting to appear for Jax. This is what he needed earlier. If only he had more of these. And look at the villager pool. What is B doing? Oh, he's setting up a gold mine of his own. Does B have enough stone? No, he doesn't. Jax has enough stone. Jax is going to be going for a bit of a keep drop. 800 stone in the bank. And B is just going to be outposting this up. He might be able to catch this Imam off guard, but definitely interesting decision for B. But I guess Jax doesn't have the right army composition to be able to punish this, to be honest. And B wants to make full advantage of the gold in Jax's base. He wants to try and deny it as much as possible because the Malians absolutely love their gold. Jax is going to be setting up 2 siege workshops. I'd assume for a Springald, as this mangonel is out on the battlefield. That is a big, massive knights right now for B. 19 knights. Although that's a lot of Donzos. However, the mangonel is going to be able to do quite a bit of damage onto those spearman type unit. And Jax's base is looking really, really nice right now. I'm surprised he hasn't gone for a little bit more of a cattle boom, as we do only see 2 of them. You can have a ton of these. And it's free food for the rest of the game. But he's got bigger priorities now. The second mangonel is out. And they've got an archer garrisoned inside. And that is because of this upgrade here. Allows all siege engines to be garrisoned up by infantry, while garrisoned attack and speed setup increased by 25%. It's a huge upgrade right there. But B's kind of throwing away his army right now. He sent all of his knights into the Donzos. This is not good for him right now. Mangonels are on the backline. Going to be able to do lots of damage. Luckily for B, he had such a huge mass. He's going to be able to still win this fight. But at what cost, though? 2 mangonels are going to be going down. All of his knights are lost, and all he's got left are these archers. Which, to be honest, the archers are the cheap stuff. That's what doesn't matter. There we go. The second mangonel is down. Scores are still looking extremely even at the moment. And Jax is going to be losing his 2 Springalds. B going to be capturing that second Imam, or second relic. Actually, not second. I think he's got quite a few of them. Just garrisoning it off right there. I mean, B's really just like moved in here and been like, "Yep, this is mine now." And B's looking in a better and better position as we go out throughout this game. Surprised we don't see Jax training in many units from the garrison, because this is so cheap you can afford. Like, getting the Donzos from here, so much better. Jax is going for a bit of a keep drop, but B's Knights are here. We've got a Wololo coming off. Is B going to be able to do it? I don't think so. It's already being targeted down. Go on, do it. Jax, do it. Oh, I think it died. Oh, well. Anyway, the keep for Jax is going to be going up. That's a lot of dead villagers, though. We'll take a look at the villager count. B's on 111 compared to Jax's 130. So Jax is way ahead in villagers still. So that's all right. He can afford to lose villagers like that. That was definitely worth it. And B's going to be losing out his Springalds and his Archer Mass here. More Janissaries here as well. And B can just remass so fast. Jax, although having the economic advantage, it feels like it's still very slow. And I feel like that's because he's being deprived of resources right now. He's still got 4,000 gold over here. But he's lost out this large gold mine over here. And this was producing 120 gold a minute, which he's just completely lost out on. And he hasn't decided to expand up to the north either, where this other large gold mine is. I feel like he really needed one of those. And B is just spending all of his time right now extracting this gold mine. 2 more siege workshops being dropped down right now. Huge shot onto B right there. And we can see B started to train some more imams. And the imams give the same bonus effect onto those archers as they did with the 2 from the shipment. And B not looking too good here. This is a pretty good cleanup from Jax. That Mangonel doing a lot of work. Although B's still looking pretty decent here. Archers and Janissaries doing some work. However, 2 more Mangonels are out for Jax. Gonna be able to clean this up pretty effectively. Although the Knights are here now as well. And this whole time that two Mangonels now. Okay, what a turn. B absolutely stomping it right here. Just not enough Donzos. Javelin. I don't think Javelin throwers are the right call here. You definitely need like Donzo plus Mangonel. At least in age 3. It worked in age 2. But in age 3, when you're up against Knights, I feel like you can't afford to lack Donzos. They're so good. And the infrastructure for Jax is starting to look a little bit frail on the front line here. B looking stronger and stronger by the second. All of this stuff is being burnt down over here as well. I'm surprised B hasn't looked down here. I mean, that's quite a few villagers right there. 22 villagers that could be pulled off those resources. And I think Jax is starting to struggle a little bit for wood. We can see he's all the way over here on this wood. 3 Springalds are out. They've all got an archer garrisoned inside. It means they get slightly faster attack and a movement speed, or setup speed, sorry. And these Knights, I love their unit skins. They look absolutely awesome. Mangonels as well. Constant unit production coming out from B right now. This is looking very, very good for him. We've got more raids going on in the base. These Spahi going to be doing a lot of damage onto the economy right here. Fortunately for Jax, he does have a defensive keep here, so he's going to be alright for the time being. I think B may need to get out a trebuchet or 2. I say that. There it is. There's one in the queue. Take a look at B. He's on maximum population at the moment, so he can't actually get it out. He may want to delete some of those villagers. He's on 120 villagers right now. So if he deletes a couple from there, I don't think he needs... I mean, look at the resources he's floating right now. Deleting a few villagers would definitely be worth it, unless he goes for an age up. Maybe that's what he's planning to do right now. I think it may be. Let's see if he decides to go for an age up. Wow. 31 idols. He had 60 idols for a second there. Wow. There we go. We hear a load of villagers being killed right there. I say that. Maybe that wasn't. Something was being destroyed there. And we see B should be able to get a couple good shots out here. Springalds managing to trade out here. Luckily for B, he's got 1 Mangonel still alive. He needs to get it shooting though. No point in keeping his siege alive if he's not going to use it. And I mean, B's losing his archer mass right now, but the Knights are just going to be able to do so much damage. And behind this, look at that. B has aged up. Where is that landmark? I want to take a look at the landmark, but got to keep focus on this battle right now. This is looking better and better for B. The Sofa Knights are going to be going down. Where's that landmark? There it is. It's going to be the Istanbul Observatory. We can have a quick read of what that does. So it acts as a university and provides the influence to the university and blacksmith to plus 60%. I don't think I read that properly. But I'm sure you get the gist of it. It's like a university, but better. It gives more experience for the Vizier. And this is looking so good for B right now. The trebuchets are here. He's age 4. He's got the siege mass right now. And the economy just keeps getting raided for Jax. Not looking good for him at all. He was so close to winning earlier on in the game. He was 160 HP away from winning the game from landmark sniping. And I feel like if he didn't age up and he just committed to making a ton of donzos, he would have been in a perfect position to win. Unfortunately, that was not the case. And B has managed to pull it back. And I think he's got this one in the bag pretty much. Trebuchet going to be able to take some shots down on this keep. And this mass for Jax is just not looking too good at all. I think this is going to be his last final push. So I see no other way of a comeback in this. We've got Elite Knights in as well. Veteran Archers. Janissaries here as well. And I mean the Mangonels as well. The Mangonels can just take so many shots onto these archers. Oh, the javelin throwers, sorry. 2 huge shots. There's so much damage right there. I wonder if we'll see a great bombard coming out from B. That would be super cool to see. I don't think we will, though. Nothing in the queue at the moment. And I think there's not a lot Jax can do here. He was so close to winning. And there it is. GG gets called. Wow, what a game that was. Jax was so close to winning. But B managed to pull it back. Well, if you did enjoy this, guys, please do feel free to leave a like. And I'll catch you around for some more Ottoman and Malian content.